Not Worth the Time with Wade Taylor. Merry, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Oh, it's that time of year, everybody. Are you tired of hearing Christmas songs yet? Well, too fucking bad. You're going to keep fucking listening to them. It's all right. It's a happy time of year. Welcome back to Not Worth the Time, guys. Christmas is always worth the time, isn't it? Hanging out with family, chilling, it's fun. It gets fun. Picking gifts is super not stressful. That's why I'm super pumped. I'm more excited for this Christmas than I've been in a long time. I only have to get like 2 or 3 gifts this entire Christmas. It rules. Just because we decided not to do gifts on any part of my family this year. I was super stoked. Oh man, makes me so happy that I don't have to deal with that. The guessing game. I'm just bad at giving gifts. It's not that like giving gifts isn't fun. Like I like doing that. I do it throughout the year. If I find people stuff, I just go give it to them because it's more fun. It's more fun to give a gift when you're not supposed to be getting one, Although Christmas is always like that's when you get the big gifts. You sprinkle the little gifts throughout the year, and then you get the big gift at the beginning, at the end of the year, the big hurrah. It's the big payout. But I don't have to do that, It's a load off of my shoulder this year to try to just be in a POS, By the way, if you're looking for something to get one of your loved ones or a close friend or somebody you just want to get into podcasts, go to the Pun and Game shop at punandgame.com. Get yourself a fresh hoodie. Yeah, like Not Worth the Time one like I'm wearing right now, Anywho, sorry, shameless plug. What's up? But yeah, Christmas is here. And everybody's trying to get in on that Christmas spirit, I got it going on around here. We got the tree up. We got the old blue tree up. I don't know if I've ever talked about that, Paul. I have a 4-foot tall blue tree, and it's fucking blue. It's the same blue as Mega Man in all of his video games. Yeah, that's how blue my fucking tree is. And then I just got silver bells all over that bitch, dude. It fucking rules. It's nice. It's a very unique tree. It's very fun. It's a lot of fun, because I don't see any blue trees. I just wanted to do something unique and different like that with my tree. My grandma used to do different things. Actually, not different things. She had a completely different tree that I've ever seen. She had an all-white Christmas tree. All white. And she only put red decorations on it. Only red. So it just had this huge contrast on it. And it was so cool. So I wanted to do something, but I didn't want to bite grandma style. That's grandma's thing. I can't just steal that from her. That's why I went with the little 4-foot blue tree with silver, changed it up. I remember showing her, and she was fucking ecstatic that I was doing that, and I drew inspiration from her Christmas decorations. She enjoyed that. She was always on top of it. I don't know how everybody else's grandma was around the holidays, but my grandma was on top of holidays. She had decorations for fucking every holiday possible. Their house was always decorated. Valentine's Day, Turkey Day, Thanksgiving, aka Thanksgiving, Halloween. She was on point about. She had springtime decorations, Easter stuff. She just had it all, and she just decorated the shit out of her house. And I think part of that comes from when she was growing up. She grew up in a family that didn't celebrate birthdays and shit, and didn't really celebrate holidays. So she went overboard to make sure she celebrated the holidays. It ruled. Yeah, she was always on top of it. So everybody's trying to cash in on the holiday spirit, even places you don't even think about it. So I like to go to thrift stores and flea market type places. Little collectible places, just to check out what's going on. A lot of times I don't even buy anything. I just wander around this shop of old shit, but you always find cool stuff. God damn it. Every time I go in there, all I want is a beer sign. I just want a neon fucking sign. So bad. Honestly, I almost bought one the other day. It was a High Life neon clock. And I was like, well, then it's a clock. It's useful. It's not just a sign I turn on to waste energy, you know? Then it's telling me the time. It's a useful tool. I try to, like, spin that goddamn stupid logic into my brain that, oh, yeah, this is what we need. See, now it's a tool, so it's useful. Dude, I wear watches still sometimes. This is a frustrating thing. I have watches. I like wearing a watch now and then, especially on stage. It looks like a cool little accessory when you're telling jokes. But I'll have a watch on, and I'll still pull out my phone to check the time. That's how fucking reliant I am on that stupid phone. That is so frustrating to me. So, like, I'm just lying to myself when I'm like, if I buy that High Life Club, it'll be great. I'll just be able to look at the time on the wall. I still won't do that. I will still make the effort to reach over, grab the clock, and look at my phone. I go to use my phone to check the time. This happens all the time at work. I go to check the time, and then I open my phone up and just, like, open up a few apps and just check shit out for no reason. Close the thing, and then go put it back in my bag, and then go back to work and go, I didn't check the fucking time. It happens all. That's how fucking addicting these things are. I'm recording on it right now. That's why I'm pouring that at you. It fucking sucks you in, dude. But I almost bought a clock. But, like, even thrift stores are trying to get into the holiday spirit, dude. Like, I love, like I went to this one where, like, people buy, like, it's like, they buy, like, lockers and lots within this building, right, to put all, so they're all out thrifting, and then they bring their stuff and organize it a certain way, so you come in and you buy it, but they're not there all the time, right? You get how it works. It's a rental space. It's like a mall for a flea market. It's like a mall for used shit. You don't own the retail space. You just rent it out, you know? And well, we found some stuff. Me and my girlfriend we found some few things that she wanted to get. We're going up to check out, and we're just standing there doing our thing, waiting, and then we get up to the register, and the guy's talking to us, and he's like, clearly a new guy, trying to figure out their little cashier operation. By the way, the people that work at flea markets, if just perfect people watching. Like, there was one guy, like, all of a sudden his phone rang. I'm pretty sure it was playing Sweet Home Alabama out of nowhere, which was wild. I was like, huh, that's an interesting ringtone, sir. Cool. And he picked it up, and he's just like, yeah, what's going on? No, I'm pretty firm on that price. No, you're wasting my fucking time, man. I'm fucking not doing this. And meanwhile, let me paint this picture a little more. This is like a 265-pound man, not in a good 265-pound, like an unhealthy 265 pounds, you know. And he's got mush. He talks like mush mouth. I can't do the fucking the sound this guy made out of his mouth. Can't even do it. Talks like mush mouth, and is wearing a Kyle Busch championship NASCAR shirt. So that's the clientele you're dealing with here. That was just a guy in the background trying to take care of business on selling some stuff. But the guy helping us, super nice guy. Clearly his first time being like first couple weeks or whatever, because he's still figuring out the system and how to type it in and all that stuff. And it's an old register. I get it. So he's just doing that, and, like, while he's trying to figure it out, he's also trying to do the pitch, you know, because every cashier has a pitch. It doesn't even matter if you work at a flea market. You got to pitch. You gotta put the feelers out there, put some add-ons and all that stuff, you know. And this guy was telling us about. He's like, oh, if you guys have kids, because I forget that I'm 30 and I look 30. And I should probably have children by now, so people just assume I have kids. I'm at that stage of my life where it's no longer like, do you have kids? They just assume. Like, it's weird that I don't. Especially because I've realized the other day I dress like a dad. Like, I'm just wearing trucker hats and hoodies all the time now. That's the uniform of the dad, you know? That's a working man dad is what that is. Anyway, like, it's weird so he's, like, telling us about how, like, he's assuming we have kids, and he's like, hey, just to let you know, next week we have our big Christmas thing going on. And I was like, your big Christmas thing? What's that? And I just start asking questions because I have to know. And I was like, "Oh, what's that? What's that entail?" He's like, "Oh, you just come on down. There's some deals on. People normally do a bunch of deals on all their items in their lots here, and Santa will be here, so you can bring the kids and they can meet Santa, and there'll be a cookie bake sale and all that stuff." I'm like, "Oh, very cool." I was like, "That's great. I appreciate that." And I like how he also had to reiterate, like, "Also, it's free to meet Santa." I'm like, "Oh, great." Do you not know it's free to meet Santa everywhere? And I was just thinking, I was like, man, like, what if that is probably somebody's Christmas tradition? And it's not that it's bad, but it is interesting to think that is somebody's Christmas tradition, that they go see the flea market Santa. Like he's just the hoarder of all Santas. Just hoarder Santa hanging out in the flea market, and that's where he's getting that actually makes more sense about Santa than anything. Like that's where he's getting all them toys from. He couldn't, like, the elves can't bust out that many toys. He's got to go to the flea market and try to find a few in the bargain bin, you know? But just you as a kid, you're getting pumped to go to the flea market to go meet Santa. Like, if meeting Santa's free, your parents could take you to the mall. The only reason I can think that your parents are going to take you to the flea market over the mall Santa is because they don't want you to know the mall exists. You've been buying hand-me-down items your whole life, and that's what you've been getting. You're used to it. You can't set the standard that there's new shit yet. You know, you can keep it 8. You can keep them like 8, 9, 10. You can kind of keep your kid in the dark for a while that they're just getting hand-me-down shit and it's not new. But once they hit that age, so you're trying to just preserve that as long as possible. Not take them to the mall. Yeah. It's easier to. I feel like it's probably easier if your kid finds like something for $1 at a thrift shop that they like. It's easier to fucking buy than it is to they find something at a big box store like Walmart or Target and it's like $30 for whatever they want. It's easier to just like be like, yeah, you can get that. You think you're spoiled as a kid going to the flea market. Flea market Santa's probably telling them like, you can pick anything in this fucking place and we'll get it for it, and they'll get it for you. I the weirdest thing I did see at the flea market, besides the people, was because it is a flea market technically still. So there's like normal goods. Like I saw bottles of shampoo and next to Butterfingers. Like people were just like they've made these like little things, these little displays. They're like, well, if you forgot, oh, you're here for a headboard. Well, if you for a bedroom that you're getting ready, a guest bed. Well, if you also forgot your shampoo, you can get some Suave over here. And if you need a little blood sugar is a little low, buy a Butterfinger. I'm just gonna let you guys know. Pro tip: if you ever go to a fucking flea market, check all the expiration dates on everything that has one. Okay, double check that shit immediately before you purchase. Okay, you know. It is what it is. But yeah, flea market Santa. What a time. That suit has to smell so bad. A flea market Santa suit. You walk into a flea market, they have a very distinct smell. They smell like an old person's home. It smells like dust. And granted, there were a lot of old people there, so that probably doesn't help. But they have that fucking aroma to it. You walk into it, you can tell things have been there a while. It just like it has that same. There's something about objects that they sit in a place for too long, they develop that scent, and it's like you're supposed to. I think that scent develops out of like some kind of survival instinct. Like if you walk in there and you smell that, like humans have been smelling that for years, and if you smell that particular smell, you're like something's been here a long time. I don't know which one it is, but it's been here a long time, which means it's been undisturbed. Like back in the day, back when you were a caveman going into caves, you smelled that. You were like, something's been undisturbed in here for a long time. That's a good sign or a bad sign. I don't know. But that suit has to smell just like that. They probably just pick one off the rack. There's probably one buried in a treasure chest or a trunk somewhere in that building. So, yeah, but go down to the flea market Santa. I almost want to go do it just to check it out and see what it's all about and see how many people are there. Also, maybe I'll get my picture taken with Flea Market Santa. I'm sure he's a lovely person and definitely isn't doing it for the drug money. Oh man, we all can't be innovators and inventors. Some of us got to be the flea market Santas or entrepreneurs. Maybe I'll be there one day. That I could make a couple life decisions that lead me down the path to be the flea market Santa. Shit happens. So shit does happen, which leads me to what I found this week. That's going to be a really fun article for us to talk about. I am very excited for this one, mainly because it's fucking. I've already read a couple, and this is going to be great. But you never think about. We only think about inventors in the positive. We never think about the guys, the trials and errors, and the people who perished along the way for future inventors to be like, oh yeah, we got this. We'll just improve upon their mistakes. So I wanted to pay tribute to them with the 9 inventors who were killed by their own inventions. Perfect, right? Most of us, we'll just read this. It's a slideshow. This is nice. Most of us think of inventors as we're probably thinking about folks like the Wright brothers, Alexander Graham Bell, or Thomas Edison, folks who changed the world by creating something new and live to tell the tale. Yeah, it's important that as an inventor, you just don't die mid-thing so you can sell off your product, What gets talked about less frequently are the folks who aren't so lucky, the people who tried to create futuristic machines and I hate when people do that in writing, and ended up becoming victims of their own machines. All right, let's find out who became a thing, Franz Reich, okay. Franz Reich, a.k.a. the Flying Tailor. That sounds like a Batman villain. Like one of those failed DC villains that they came up with. It's Batman versus the Flying Tailor. This is back in what is it, the 1900s, like early 1900s, where you could come up with crazy nicknames and it was just, like people were just like, that's it. Like that was the marketing back then. There was, you made a poster. And you came with a crazy nickname. It was just like, Franz Retzel, the Flying Tailor. See him this Sunday. Only for a halfpenny you can come see the Flying Tailor. Like that's all marketing was back then, dude. It's fucking wild. He was a Austrian-born tailor living in France during the 1900s, and is credited for pioneering the entire wearable parachute that looks less like a parachute and more like a bedsheet held together with wires. Dude, he invented the squirrel suit. Yeah, if you know a loved one who's flown into a mountain wearing a squirrel suit, you can thank the old Flying Tailor here. I mean, just look at the thing. It's not really a device that screams sturdy. But it didn't stop. I can't even say his name really, or Richel, from testing it out in its inaugural jump off the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, I've heard about this dude. Yeah, he was trying to use his so you know what though? You ever think he was just trying to commit suicide and he was just like, I can have like a crowd of people watch me die and I'll be remembered forever? He was just like, I know this isn't going to work. I just don't want to live anymore. So let's create a new way to do this. In fact, he was so confident in that jump that he actually called the local press over to film his invention in action. Needless to say, it didn't go as planned and plummeted from the tower, and the suit and all crushed his skull, spine, and a few other major bones as it hit the ground. Holy fuck, dude. I wonder how far down he fell until he finally gave up on the idea it was going to work. Like, was he just like, all right, it's right now? He's just like falling super fast. Picking up speed, don't worry, it's going to slow down. It's not slowing down. Oh, God. Do you just accept that or panic at that point? I mean, damn, dude. Although he looks fly as fuck. Look at that, with that mustache. How are you, like, you have a mustache like that, of course you're confident enough that you have invented a thing that'll just fly. You know? Anyway, good on the Flying Tailor there. No relation. Um, Second on this, we have William Bullock, an American inventor living in the mid 19th century who was widely credited as one of the early parents of the modern day printing press. Good for you. In 1863, Bullock created a new kind of printing press that substantially cut down the time and labor used used in the widely used uh, rotary printing press that had been rolled out to the public roughly 20 years before. The only problem with the machine, in case as is the case with many machines back in these days, was it wasn't what you would call safe. Bullock saw how unsafe his invention was on April 3rd, 1967 or 1867, when his leg got stuck into one of the presses while it was being installed for a local newspaper in Philadelphia. Dude, his leg got stuck in the new press. Dude, he got like the first like ink tattoo. He just like he just got like he just wanted to get fucking. He was trying to get the Declaration of Independence on his fucking leg. Oh, he was 1776 all day. He was just trying. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna stick my leg in this and just hit the print button. We'll just get the whole Declaration on my leg, dude. We the people should be right up near my dick. His leg was crushed and turned gratuitously within a week. 9 days after the initial died during an operation to amputate his crushed limb. Oh man, he didn't wait long enough. He waited too long. Died of that gangrene probably. Oh man, or like I don't know. Probably ink wasn't probably the safest thing to be get your leg caught into. I bet. You know, I bet you back then, like when you read the newspaper and you licked your finger and turned the page, like some ink came off whatever you were reading for sure. So you just, and it was probably like lead-based ink somehow. I don't even know how that works. I don't even know what ink's made out of, but it was probably poisonous enough that you didn't want to fucking lick your finger to turn the newspaper every day. I'm sure most doctors nowadays have been like, yeah, they shouldn't have been doing that. Instead of the Mad Hatter disease, you got the Mad Ink disease. You know, let's take. I have no idea how to say this name. So, but look at this fucking goofy ass propeller boxcar. God damn it, this is weird. Oh, it's a Soviet. This is why. No wonder this is going to be goofy. In 1917, a Soviet engineer, Valery Akabatsky. I'm gonna say I'm butchering all these names, guys. If they're super foreign names, I don't got it, and I apologize. I want to learn those names. Send me them in an email phonetically how I should be saying them, and I'll get them right. Came up with the idea to slap the best parts of the early airplane into the best parts of a rail car, and use the results as a newfangled device to carry Soviet officers around Russia. Or Soviet officials, sorry, around Russia. The results were the Aero Wagon. See, this is why Germany almost fucking took over the world. Their engineers weren't doing stupid shit like this. They were making tanks that were fucking indestructible and just kept going. And the Soviets are over here like, hey, I got an idea. Let's put a propeller on a train. I hope maybe if we get going fast enough, we can get this train just a flying. Or you can just use an airplane, Russia. Jesus. On the 24th of July in 1921, I forgot how I even said it earlier. I'm just going to call him Inventor A. Was conducting a trip from Moscow with a handful of international delegates. Oh, fuck. When a vehicle suddenly derailed, killing 7 of the 22 people on board. Oh, man. He was one of the dead, and only 25 when he was killed in the crash. Damn, he was a youngin'. He could have been the Elon Musk of Soviet Russia, dude. If he would have stuck around, he would have kept turning out gems like this propeller rail car. Man, no, in 1921 too. Like he's lucky killing international delegates like that. He didn't help continue the war or some fashion. Also, look at this guy. He is just like, what is that? That thing's stealing my soul over here. Why is he? How is he frowning that hard? I don't think Russians have ever smiled. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. Let's take a look at here. Australian inventor Max Valier, one of the names credited for inventing the Opel Rack, which is the world's first rocket-powered aircraft. While these vehicles weren't used for the type of intergalactic missions you would normally associate with rocket-powered vehicles of the modern day, they still got some pretty serious air. The first ever Opel rocket aircraft seen in the photo above. Okay, you can barely make out that look. See, this is why conspiracy theory starts. This looks like a UFO for sure. You know, they got what are the seen was able to fly a solid 47 miles an hour during a maiden flight in March of 1980 or 28. About 2 years after the first flight, Valier, whatever, had moved on to experimentations with liquid propulsion fuel, which ended up being not the best choice. He was eventually killed on May 7th in 1930 when the alcohol-based fuel in one of his rockets ignited the test bench, exploding and taking Valier with him. Damn, dude. See, maybe ethanol isn't the way, guys. Maybe alcohol-based fuel kills people. Jesus, dude. Could you imagine you're just getting ready to fucking fly and you're just like, man, I can't wait to fly. I've done this several different times. And you turn the key and it just, your seat underneath your bench where you sit explodes. You hope you're dead because you definitely don't want to have no dick and balls or asshole after that. Like, living that kind of life would suck ass. Especially back in the 1930s. I don't think colostomy bags were really all the rage back then. Thomas Midgley Jr. Thomas Midgley Jr. was a Pennsylvania-based machine engineer who is most well known as the guy who developed the lead used in lead gasoline. Oh, okay. He's been called the most harmful inventor in history, a forefather of today's climate change hellscape. Okay, that's a little harsh because you say what you will. Okay, I'm sure, yeah, what he did, like, yeah, we know there's some correlations between that, but, like, think about how much has gotten done because he invented that. We'd be so far behind as a society if he hadn't invented that. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, thanks for being dicks, guys. Well, not a great guy, environmentally speaking. And while letting gas would be a mass public health danger until it was formally banned for on-road uses in 1970. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought. Isn't that what they still talk? I thought like there were still pumps that say leaded and unleaded gas. Is that not a thing? I didn't know it wasn't a thing anymore. Huh. Well, maybe you know what? I'm gonna say I'm wrong. Anyway, that gas wasn't what killed Mid. Instead, according to Times Magazine Orbit from November 13th, 1944, Midgley ended up accidentally strangling himself on a harness. He derived to get out of bed after he contracted polio. Oh, so he choked himself on his fucking helpful device to get him out of bed into his wheelchair. Man, see, people have no fucking heart, dude. Like, they were just like, oh, this guy, he's a killed I don't know anything else about this but he's the most harmful inventor in the world. Also, he got polio and hung himself trying to get out of his bed. Man, no heart for that guy, I guess. Whatever. Let's see what else we got here. Henry Schmolitsky. Okay. Uh, all that's a Ford Pinto with airplane wings. Holy shit! I can't wait to read this one. All of the failed attempts of flying cars didn't stop an Ohio-based inventor, Henry Chmielinski, from coming up with his own attempt at a part car, part plane hybrid back in the early 70s. Fuck yeah, dude. Live your dream. The AVE Mizar, uh, as it was called, was pretty much built by smashing rubber. Smashing the rubber wings of a consent aircraft into the back of a Ford Pinto. Fuck yeah. I love this idea, dude. Resulting in a hot mess you seen in the photo above. I don't think that's a hot mess. If anything, that paint job's on fleek. He had a paint dude. He had a dude. He's like, I need this to look fire as fuck. I need this fucking Pinto and these airplane wings to look cool as fuck. Turns out, things worked out as well as they looked on September 11th. Man, September 11th just can't catch a break. Airplane, any kind of plane thing happened on September 11th, apparently. 1973, during the test flight in California, one of the wing struts detached from the body of the Pinto while the machine was mid-flight. Oh, so we got it up in the air. That's a success. He just didn't detach things right. Needless to say, the car plummeted, and the Pinto, along with Chmielinski, who was at the controls at the time, did not survive the trip. Damn, dude. Well, he was close. I mean, he got it up in the air and was flying. Mid-flight entails that it was, flying pretty good. I want to know how you fucking land that thing, though. The shocks in that Pinto, I don't think can absorb that. That's going to be a fucking doozy of a time, guys. Whoa. What do you know? We've flown by here. I know we didn't get through all 9 eventers, but you can also go find you can find that in the description down below, so you can read about the other ones, and then tell me which one was your favorite, and I'll cover it again, or maybe I'll cover this in the next time. Maybe we'll do a part 2. Do a part 2 on the podcast. I don't think we've ever done a part 2, but man, what a I don't know if we can top the Ford Pinto one. That's fucking tight as hell, guys. But I'll tell you what does top the Ford Pinto, and that's puntingame.com. Puntingame.com, guys, where you can get awesome content every day of the week. I'm clapping to let you know I'm serious about this deal. Content every day of the week. You got Not Worth the Time, you're listening to right now. You got Who Gives a F. You got The Empty Parlor. You got all the back catalogs of exclusive content at puntingame.com. Check all that stuff out, guys. And if you want to watch the podcast and watch me read along, look at me struggle to read, and see these awesome pictures of these cool inventors, you want to head over to youtube.com, search Comic Wade Taylor, and hit subscribe. You can get the video podcast. You can get this Not Worth the Time video podcast. You can get the Who Gives That video podcast. You can get clips. You get to see stand-up. You get to see my half-hour Wild Horses. Check that out. Give it all a like. Give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you want to. We'd love to see it. Love to see it. And like I mentioned earlier, if you're wanting to get something cool for yourself this holiday season, get yourself some Punting Game merch at the Punting Game shop. And don't forget to use promo code NWTPOD. That's NWTPOD for free shipping at checkout. You're going to want to hop on that, guys. Anyway, guys, this has been Not Worth the Time. I've been Wade Taylor. And remember, don't do anything I wouldn't do.